How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a brilliant day. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to very easily get between 24 and maybe even 30,000 capital peak points by only attacking 3 separate builders workshops. We're going to be looking at some 2 shots, getting all those points. We're going to be using exclusively this army composition. Only difference is we might swap out the Barbarian for 1 more Ram. But we're using 8 Giants, 8 Super Wizards, 2 of the Hogs, and then 10 to 11 Rams, potentially 1 Barbarian. 3 Graveyard Spells, and 1 Lightning, depending if we have the extra spell storage. So the name of the game is going to be trying to take out 2 or more of the big splash defenses in the base and trying to clear usually 40% to maybe 50% of the base on the first attack and trying to protect the Super Wizards for as long as possible. Mostly going to be focused on the Giants and the Super Wizards, but we do have a couple of the Hogs, mostly to stun defenses that are starting to lock onto the Super Wizards, or potentially to stun lock the giant cannons. So now we're just briefly going over the final attack on this first hit. Whenever you have just a couple of the splash targeting defenses left, you know you're going to be in for an easy time. Typically, if there is 6,000 points or less, pretty much guarantees the final hit is going to happen on that attack. You can sometimes squeeze out 6,500, but if there's 7,000 or more points available, it's going to be pretty tough to two-shot. So let's go over the strategy and see how we can try and take out these bases. Ideally, you want to focus on one portion of the base at a time, and you want to place the graveyard spells slightly behind where your troops are going to enter from. So that way, at least for the giant cannons, they will sometimes turn to the side or even backwards to shoot the skeletons from the graveyard spells. It's important to try and create at least 2 sort of main groups of troops, and then to try and sneak in the Hog Gliders whenever you get close enough. See, we took out 1 giant cannon here, and we have a few giants on the right-hand cannon. We were going to send in our 1 Barbarian to help take out that giant cannon. And then our graveyard spell on the back almost took out the giant cannon on its own, so we don't even have to worry about that on the next attack. We've taken out roughly, 40% of the base, and we have only 4,800 points available, so it's going to be a pretty easy cleanup because there's only really this 1 splash targeting defense left. And for the second attack, you want to choose the best angle to get to those remaining big splash defenses as fast as possible. Or you want to try and be completely on the other side and let the skeletons take it out. Like, for example, skeletons from that graveyard spell took out the giant cannon, so we don't even have to worry about coming in from that side. But here we have a big group on the right hand side, and then sort of a mini second group that took out that cannon. So now that the giant cannon is destroyed, literally nothing else in the base that can stop the attack. The only way you can pretty much fail the cleanup is if there's like a weird portion of the base where the giants start to fall behind the Super Wizards. Because then if all the Super Wizards die and all the Hogs die, then you could potentially run into some problems. But as long as you save a couple giants, or a couple of Hogs, or Rams, and place them in front of the Super Wizard, then you are in good standings. So here, similarly, we have this Very poorly placed giant cannon, so we'll take that one out, no problem, with the graveyard spell. And then we are going to be coming in from this bottom left-hand side of the base. We're going to try and push up through the core, try and get this giant cannon, as well as open up this left-hand side so that on the second attack we can sort of have the two groups going from the left and the right-hand side. We do have a back-end giant cannon and a multi-mortar, but it's going to be pretty unprotected once we open this side of the base. When we clear these trash defenses out, we can either drop a couple of tanking troops on the right hand side to take it out, or we might be able to directly target it with the hogs. So here we have one pack of hogs left. We're waiting to see where we can use it. Here we notice that the giants were starting to die out, so we use it on the multi-cannon, and it was perfect. They went from that cannon to the giant cannon. So we took out 47% of the base on this first attack. Only 4,500 troops or points available on the second attack. So it's going to be very, very easy. I opt to do a far end graveyard spell and a cleanup graveyard spell, because we know this left-hand side is going to go down very, very quickly. So it's just a matter of trying to push into this right-hand side of the base as everything converges. We're saving a couple of rams to distract the giant cannon. You know, the giant cannons are pretty devastating if they hit all of your troops. Like if it shot down towards the bottom, it would have been real bad. But if you bring a couple rams, you should be very good. So hopefully this video is helpful. Hopefully you can 3-star some of the barbarian or the builder's workshops into attacks in your own raid weekends. If you found the video helpful, I encourage you to like and subscribe. It helps me out a bunch. And there's a couple more videos on the screen if you want to keep on watching. Until next time, take care.